Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video using Jack and Skelly, which is Traci's new collection, which is a Halloween one. Don't really go in for Halloween hugely here. It's getting bigger in the United Kingdom. We've not really celebrated it very much. My daughter does love it though, so we probably do more now than we used to when they were little. So what I'm going to do today, what I do like to do is read a lot, as you've probably seen from my reading journals, and I'm going to make a couple of bookmarks today. I'm going to shake a bookmark. So I've got a sequin mix I've made. I've got these which I've printed out from the sticker collection, and I've printed them out on shrink paper. I'm going to show you how well these shrink. We'll see how well they do shrink, and then I'm going to use them to add charms onto the bookmarks. I've got some scraps of black paper. I've got some scraps of acetate to use. I've printed out one of the stickers really large, and I'm going to use that as my basis for one of the bookmarks. I have printed out some of these stickers and then overlaid them, I don't know if you can see this, with holographic star paper. Whoops. But they didn't cut hugely well on my silhouette. They were misaligned. I think because of the holographicness of them, so I didn't want to waste another piece of paper, so I just kept the ones that were okay, so I can use those. And then a bunch of these stickers which I haven't used yet, and I've got some scraps of paper and bits there. So we'll see what I come up with. So the first thing we're going to do is shrink these, so we'll do that, but I need to clear my desk, so let me go and clear that first. Now, if you've been looking at the sneaks on Instagram, you've probably seen my very fast forward version of this stretch of the video, which is where I shrink down these stickers on the shrink paper. I use a heat gun. You can put them into the oven. I find if I pop them in the oven, they just, because I've got a fan oven, they just roll around all around and they don't flatten very well. If I do it like this, I've got a bit more control, and as you can see, when I've shrunk them down, I wrap them in the heatproof paper that I'm using and press down on them, and it makes them nice and flat, and that's the way I find it best to do them. I hadn't used this brand of shrink paper before, and it didn't shrink down quite as much as the one I've used previously, so these little charms did turn out just a little bit bigger than I was expecting. However, they shrank so beautifully and the colours on them are so good that I will definitely get this paper again. And I would tell you what it was, but I've forgotten, so I'll have to look that up and perhaps put that in the description box below. One thing you do have to remember is to punch the holes before you do the shrinking, because obviously the holes shrink as well as you do it, and if you don't do the holes beforehand, you can't. There's no way you're going to actually make a hole in that. So here we are showing you each of those, and then on to making the actual bookmarks. Now the coffin I love, it's a bit big as a bookmark. My husband said, is that going to fit in a book? It does fit in a book, and actually I love how it looks, so I was really pleased with it, and I just felt it needed a few little bits of embellishment to go onto it apart from the shaker part. So I popped one of the Skellies on, the ones that I've got the holographic stars on, and then decided to add some of the star stickers and a couple of the bats as well. So having done that, I do stick these down off camera. I move over onto the normal size bookmark, and you'll see here I have a little bit of a hassle or tussle with myself trying to decide how to actually build this one up. I did like that trick or treat label in the middle, but wasn't quite sure what to do either side of it. I tried some labels, I tried some flowers. Looking at it now as I'm building this, I actually quite like it with the flowers. I don't go with that in the end. I go a completely different tack, as you'll see in a minute. Actually, I really like that. Wish I perhaps I'll make another one with the flowers, because that looks really nice, and I don't use the trick or treat word either. I grabbed this moon with the bats because I thought that would look quite good. Was still going with the trick or treat, but didn't like that, and then decided that I would use some of the ghosts because I think they're so cute. And you'll see I choose a couple of the ghosts here, and then just across the bottom, so swap that one out, I use one of the word strips which says keep calm and scare, something like that.
But I also I added some of the stars in as well because it's a nighttime scene. And then a Keep Calm and Scare On, I think it says. I can't actually see it properly on my screen. So put that across the bottom and then stuck all of those down. I just used liquid glue to stick all of the embellishments down to make sure they were really stuck. Grabbed a spare piece of acetate that I'd got and wanted to fold it in half to go over that rather than stitching around all 4 sides. So just used my scoreboard to score down and then folded it and used the bone folder to make a sharp crease there. If you do that, it does stay, as you can see, it folds really nicely actually. So now I only have 3 sides to stitch around. With the coffin, I'm going to stitch on the edge of the coffin and then trim off the excess acetate. So all I did here was just use some washi tape to stick the 2 parts of the acetate together so it didn't move whilst I'm stitching it round. So I take it over to my machine, and as you see, I've stitched 2 sides on that one and then all the way around, but left a space at the top to fill it up with the sequins. And here they are, both filled with sequins, and I've stitched across the top of both of them, pulled the threads through and just knotted them on the back to secure them. Having done that, I cut round the coffin to get rid of the excess acetate, which I thought I had my camera on, but I didn't, so I'm sorry you don't get to see that bit. And then I thought, oh, these are finished. Oh, I love these, they look so nice. I'll just clear my desk up ready to take a photo, and as I do that I found the charms and realised that I hadn't done anything to affix the charms. So a quick call out to my husband, and he gave me a hand to get them fixed onto the bookmarks. You'll see his hand leap in to view a couple of times with both of them as he did them for me, which is I'm really grateful for.
So there we are, both the bookmarks finished with their Shrinky Dink charms attached. I did have to get my husband to give me a hand with that. I didn't have O-ring or jump rings that were quite big enough to go through, so we've resorted to the lobster clasps, which are a little bit tight, but they work. I'm going to use this one. Practical Magic is what I'm reading at the moment, which is very apt. So that will slip in there, and then the charm will be on the outside of the book, which I really like. And then the other one can go to my daughter. This has been a video for the Traci Reed YouTube hop for Jack and Skelly, which is the October release, and you can buy that in her shop, and there's a link to that in the description box below. You'll also find in the description box below a list of all the other participants in the hop. Do please go and have a look and see what they've been creating. I've seen sneak peeks and there's some wonderful things out there. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, I'd appreciate if you did so. And I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.